Are you feeling totally overwhelmed? Well, today, we're going to talk about the mental detox. But forget all the wellness fads. We are diving deep into the hard science to show you how you can actually trigger a genuine biological reset for your brain. Let's get into it. So let me just ask you, does your brain ever feel full? You know, like you're trying to wade through this thick mental fog and you're just constantly overloaded and distracted? If you're nodding your head right now, trust me, you are not alone. That feeling is pretty much the signature of modern life.
And guess what? That feeling, it actually has a name. It's called cognitive overload. It's a very real state your brain gets into when it's just pushed way past its limits by all the information and stimulation we're hit with every day. And, just understanding what's happening is the first real step to fixing it.
So what is a mental detox, really? I can tell you it's so much more than just stepping away from a screen for a bit. It is a profound biological process, and the science behind how it works is absolutely fascinating.
You see, we tend to think of a mental detox as just unplugging, right? Just taking a break. But the scientific reality is so much deeper. We're talking about a full-on biological reset. It's not about escaping your life, it's about healing and restoring your brain so you can actually live your life better. So, okay, here's our official definition for today. A mental detox means you are intentionally reducing that cognitive overload, you're flushing out all the stress chemicals, and you're breaking the cycle of compulsive stimulation. And the goal? It's pretty simple. To let your brain get back to its natural, clear-thinking state.
So how does this reset actually happen? Well, science has uncovered the secrets, and we are going to walk through 7 key breakthroughs that show us exactly what's happening inside your brain during a mental detox. This is the good stuff.
Okay, first up is something called the default mode network, or DMN for short. The best way to think of it is as your brain's inner storyteller. It's always on, narrating your past, worrying about your future. It's the part of your brain that's buzzing when you're overthinking and your mind just won't shut up.
Now here's the problem. All that constant digital stimulation we're getting keeps this storyteller hyperactive. It gets stuck in this loop of anxiety and mental exhaustion. A mental detox literally works by hitting the pause button on that network, finally giving you that mental quiet you need for clarity to come back. Okay, number 2. Once that inner chatter is quiet, we can deal with the brain's reward system. And that brings us to dopamine. Now, we've all been kind of told that more stimulation means more motivation. But the science actually shows the complete opposite is true. Constant novelty actually fries our dopamine system. Think about it. All that constant scrolling and notifications and task switching creates these unnatural dopamine spikes, which leads to something called attention collapse. Your brain's receptors get totally overwhelmed, they become less sensitive, and poof, there goes your natural motivation. A detox period lets those receptors heal, and that brings back your natural ability to focus. Next up, let's talk about chemistry, specifically the stress hormone cortisol. When we're chronically stressed and overloaded, our bodies are just flooded with this stuff, and it has a direct physical impact on our brains. And this is why mental clarity isn't just about your mindset. Persistently high levels of cortisol literally damage the brain circuits for memory and focus. So a mental detox is really a chemical intervention. It's like a broom that sweeps away these harmful stress hormones, giving your brain the physical space it needs to repair itself and work properly again.
Now this next one, this is where it gets really cool. It turns out our brain has its own dedicated cleaning crew that works the night shift. It's called the glymphatic system, and it's honestly one of the most incredible discoveries about why we sleep.
So here's how it works. When you get into that really deep sleep, this glymphatic system kicks into gear, and it starts flushing out all the metabolic gunk that builds up and causes brain fog. This means getting good quality sleep isn't just passive rest. It's an active, absolutely essential detoxification process for your brain.
Okay, our 5th discovery is all about something called attention restoration theory. The main idea here is super simple. Your ability to focus is a finite resource. Just think of it like a muscle. If you overuse it, it gets tired. When you're constantly forcing yourself to concentrate all day, that attentional muscle gets totally depleted. What this theory shows is that spending time in nature, or even just in a quiet space with less input, allows that muscle to recover automatically. This is literally the science behind why a quiet walk in a park can feel so incredibly refreshing.
All right, our 6th discovery is simple but so powerful. The brain, just like your computer, has a limited processing capacity. You can't just keep opening new tabs in your mind forever without a serious drop in performance.
I mean, neuroscience has basically proven that multitasking is a myth. What we're actually doing is just switching between tasks really fast, and it absolutely destroys the quality of our thinking. By simplifying our inputs, just focusing on one thing at a time, we restore our brain's high-level functions. The key takeaway here is kind of counterintuitive, but it's so true. Fewer inputs actually lead to higher mental performance.
And finally, breakthrough number 7, a mental detox isn't just happening in your head, it resets your entire nervous system. It literally flips a switch in your body, shifting you out of that constant fight or flight state and into the calm rest and digest mode.
And that shift into recovery mode is just critical. It improves your emotional regulation, making you way less reactive and more in control. This is really the final piece of the puzzle. It explains why a true detox makes you feel calmer and think more clearly at the same time. The two are biologically linked.
So, we've covered the 7 scientific breakthroughs. Now let's talk about the payoff. Why does any of this matter? Well, because these biological changes translate into really powerful, tangible benefits in your daily life.
When you give your brain this biological reset, the results are clear, they're proven. We're talking clearer thinking, less anxiety, better focus and memory, recovering from emotional hits faster, a much lower risk of burnout, and, of course, better quality sleep. I mean, these aren't just nice-to-haves. They are absolutely essential for performance and well-being today.
All of this science really leads us to a powerful new bottom line. It completely reframes this whole idea from being some kind of luxury into what it really is, a biological necessity for modern life.
So, let's end with this thought. A mental detox is not avoidance, it is not laziness, it is a fundamental biological reset of your brain's core systems, its chemistry, its attention, and its stress circuits. It's really just about creating the right conditions for your mind to do what it does best, heal itself, and find its way back to clarity.